What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Mythology, the show where we get higher than the Yabe, the African sky god whose left eye is the sun and right eye is the moon, and tell you guys some silly stories from folklore and mythology. Whew. Today, we will be jumping into some West African mythology. Yeah. We have with us in the house, still Jeff on the beats. Yeah. And we will be telling you the story of Yennenga. Yennenga! All right. So, yeah, without further ado, go ahead and take it away there, Kimbo.
Thank you. So this is a story I've been wanting to do for several months now. It's fucking awesome, but now I can't seem to wrap my brain around why the fuck Disney didn't make her their first black princess.
Yanenga.
Okay, yes. This is the story of Princess Yennenga. Though, to find the proper story, it's also called The Legend of Princess Yennenga. So this is... as you said, West African story from Dagomba.
Dagomba.
So according to legend, more than 1,000 years ago, Princess Yennenga was the daughter of King Nadega.
Nadega.
Dagomba, who ruled around the 12th century, and she was loved by all in her kingdom, but none more so than her father, King Nadega.
Nadenga.
Princess Yennenga was not only the most beautiful in the land, but she was also very skilled with spears and bows. And by the time she was 14, no one could match her skills. She was also incredibly gifted at taming and riding the most powerful stallions.
Yeah.
By 14.
Yeah, where you at?
See where?
Yeah.
So Dagomba was usually at war with neighboring kingdoms because of their wealth, and so at 14, Princess Yennenga was given command of a battalion and won her first campaign against the kingdom of Malinkis.
Bad motherfucker right there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Her strength and courage not only put her brothers to shame, but even the best warriors King Nadega had in service.
I like to imagine that Nadega, her dad, constantly made comments just belittling the brothers, I wish you could have grown up with balls like your sister.
See, she's a real, true warrior princess, Disney. What are you doing? Y'all chose the fucking cook who marries into royalty. Idiots.
But it was Cajun.
Right here, get your shit together.
Get your shit together, Disney.
You can find a prologue for the story.
Nadenga.
Just like you do with all the other stories. Sorry, I'm totally ranting about Disney. I just feel like if this was a Disney movie growing up, my outlook on life as a woman would have been so much more different.
Yeah, she sounds like a bad motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
No glass slippers for this girl. She'll cut your fucking throat.
Okay. I'll save my ranting for after the story. Okay. So some time goes by, and Princess Yennenga comes to a marrying age, and she dreams of starting her own family. So she goes to her father and begs him to arrange a marriage for her, someone who would make the gods proud, loyal, and honorary. But King Nadega quickly told her no, that he could not lose his best warrior to marriage and motherly duties.
I think he should have just been the opposite. He should have been supportive, but I'm not going to get you a warrior for a husband. I'm totally going to get you a house husband. So it's just going to be a role reversal. He'll take care of the kids. He'll cook. He'll do all the cleaning. You're way too badass to be stuck at home.
Right? Well, his answer devastated poor Princess Yennenga's dreams, and she wanted her father to understand how she felt. So one day, she planted a beautiful field of golden wheat, which impressed her father. King Nadega praised his daughter's agricultural skills to all in his kingdom. But when the wheat was ready to harvest, Princess Yennenga neglected the beautiful field of wheat, and it began to rot, all over. It was fucking gross and it stank.
You like that, Dad? You like that? You see what happens when you let the wheat rot?
So King Nadega asked his daughter why she let the wheat rot, and she said that she was like the wheat. By not allowing her to marry, she was just rotting away.
Oh.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's a sad metaphor.
I do like to imagine, though, that her dad's just really hard at getting metaphors.
Nah, I know, right?
Just really
What?
I don't. But it was a field of wheat. You planted it. It's your wheat. You put the work in. I didn't really need the wheat. I'm a king. I mean, I'm really confused by your methods.
Well, King Yanenga was angered at his daughter's replies, so he locked her away in the tallest tower of his palace.
Teach me a metaphor.
Many, many days go by, and nowhere in the true stories does it say how long she was really locked away. But anyway, one day,
So long.
like I said earlier, Princess Yennenga was loved by all in her kingdom, and everyone was super bummed about her imprisonment. So one night, one of the king's horsemen helped Princess Yennenga to escape. He dressed her up like a man and helps her sneak out in the middle of the night. He had 2 great stallions waiting, and they rode off, going north, guided by the bright North Star. Mm-hmm.
And he was, for some reason, all of a sudden super attracted to her.
Okay. Along their journey, they were met by a couple Malinke warriors scouting the area. And the horseman fights them and tells Princess Yennenga to flee while he distracts them. So she presses forward, continuing to follow the North Star. And by the time she crossed the great river that borders the northern part of Dagamba, she was totally exhausted and she sought shelter in the wooded forest up ahead.
All tired out from the long run.
Oh, yeah. So I gotta also say, Dagamba was actually a huge kingdom back then. It was pretty much like all of central North Africa. And her capital palace was like in the southern part, so it was like central Africa.
Oh, so she had a run.
Yeah,
she had a jaunt.
A day's journey.
I like how all of a sudden, it seems like in the story, they've just turned her into like the damsel. You know what I mean? It's like he jumps off and fights the warriors for her. Like, if I recall in Act 1, she was quite the badass. Could she not have fought the warriors with him?
I know, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he had to probably stay behind to kill them so that no one would say where she went. You know,
yeah, or he had to do a distraction. I like to think that he was really just an attention whore. And they killed the 2 dudes and pretty much no one noticed. And he's like, no, leave. I'll make a distraction. Like, hey, it's me. Over here, I killed these 2 men by myself. No help from a teenage girl.
I don't know.
Oh, what a warrior am I.
So anyway, Princess Yennenga came upon an elephant hunter named Rael.
Fucking cocksucker.
Did not recognize Princess Yennenga, for she was still dressed as a man. Regardless, Rael fed and sheltered her, and after a couple of days, Rael proved to be a good man, and Princess Yennenga revealed herself.
Reveal yourself, Yanenga. Yanenga, Yanenga.
The 2 fell in love, and after some time, they have a son named Ouedraogo.
Okay.
Ouedraogo.
So that's interesting.
Which means stallion, by the way.
She shacked up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
When Ouedraogo reaches adulthood, he leaves his parents and seeks out his grandfather, King Yanenga, who was still searching for his beloved daughter all these years.
Yanenga.
When King Yanenga learns his daughter is still alive, he was overjoyed and ordered a large feast to be held and sent a delegation to request the princess and her husband return to her homeland.
I want a delegation and a feast, I tell you.
It was a super happy family reunion.
Oh.
And King Yanenga saw to the training of his grandson, Ouedraogo. Sorry, I have to say this so slow.
Ouedraogo. I just fucked that up.
Ouedraogo. And it would later give him. He would later give him cavalry, cattle, and other goods that Ouedraogo would use to start his own kingdom north called Tenkodogo, which is the heart of the Mosi kingdoms.
Oh.
That is now named Burkina Faso. Is a country in Africa.
Oh, I did not know that.
Okay.
The more you know.
In Burkina Faso, Princess Yennenga is considered to be the mother of the Maasai people, and the country has many statues of her throughout its land, and many roads are named after and towns are named after her.
What you need to do is you need to go right down to Yanenga and take a left on Yennenga.
See, Disney, this is a way better story than your fucking Princess and the Frog. I'm sorry. But you have like a little mini fucking Trump running around this little girl. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? That little girl is probably saying, grab them all by the dick. You know what I mean?
Oh, Judas Priest. Oh, but yeah, no, I'm with you. And on the fact that they probably should have done this one over the Princess and the Frog, or a lot of their other stories, you know.
Thank you.
I would even say
I mean, it was similar to Mulan, which is nice.
Yeah, it's kind of
like
a cross in a lot of ways. It's a little bit of a cross between Mulan and Tangled. Locks her up in a tower. Except for she doesn't have hair. She just has badass.
Their tower.
Their tower. It's very like... small. It's 3 stories.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's the only 2-story building in all of this area. We locked her at the top. At least they didn't make people throw apples at her tits.
This is West Africa, not Egypt, so they don't do pyramids and shit.
Yeah. You know but at least they didn't make people throw apples at his daughter's tits.
That's true. That was a weird one. But I had to try it.
Sometimes you gotta try it.
All right, so we're going to do another West African story. But a mythology story instead about the spider god Anansi.
Anansi! If you've watched the TV show American Gods at all, he's played by Orlando Bloom. Oh, no. Orlando Jones. Wrong Orlando.
Which actually he just got fired.
Yeah, he just got fired.
I'm so bummed about that.
Which is a big bag of shit. But Anansi. Love that guy.
I do too.
Love Orlando Jones also.
I do
putting
too.
Both of those things out there.
I'm putting them together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole couple first seasons were fucking awesome. So
yeah.
Fuck it. Anyway, this one's called Anansi and the Pot of Wisdom. So for those who don't know who Anansi is, he is a spider that often acts and appears as a man, or a man with spider-like qualities.
Spider-Man!
Like, for instance, he has 8 limbs,
mm-hmm.
and he either has 6 arms or 6 legs.
Doesn't he usually have more eyes, too?
Some do, and some gave him more of a human face.
Oh, okay.
And he walks about like a human. So he is a trickster god as well.
I am a fan of trickster gods, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. They always seem to be the ones that have the funnest stories. I mean, they're not necessarily the good guys in the stories, but I feel like trickster gods across the globe are the ones where you get some of the best stories.
Just the Norse tricksters.
Oh no, the coyote?
He's got some serious
Coyote's
shit
got
going
some
on
shit
too.
he got into. Yeah.
There's all kinds of serious shit too.
There's all kinds of tricksters.
Well, this one's more of a serious one for him.
Oh yeah.
So it's not really, haha, you're fucking stupid. That type of thing, you know what I mean? Okay. So the story goes, although Anansi is already very clever, he gave himself an idea to collect all of the world's wisdoms and hoard it all for himself.
Sounds right.
Ooh, excuse me. He gathered all of the wisdom and put it in a gourd pot. And then he decided he needed to hide it. So he went in search of a good tree. He finds a great big twisted thorny tree, and he thinks to himself, that's the spot I'm gonna hide the pot of wisdom in, on the tippy top.
Up in the tippy top of the trees. Perfect place to keep all the wisdom.
Mm-hmm. He found a vine and then tied the gourd around the front of himself.
Okay.
So it's just hanging off his belly.
Just dangling.
And then Anansi tried to climb the tree, but he just kept sliding down. And so his youngest son, Nitikumba, followed his father without his knowing. Nitikumba sees his father struggling and says to him, Father, have your eyes died? Would it not be easier to climb if the gourd was on your back instead?
For real, though, Anansi.
Anansi at first was angry, but still he swings the gourd around and puts it on his back instead, and he is finally able to climb the tree. He gets to the top and thinks to himself, "How is it that my son, who still crawls about, has more wisdom than what is contained in this pot?"
Yep. You forgot to get common sense.
I know, right? Goes a long way with wisdom.
It goes a long way in the wisdom department.
Anansi unties the pot of wisdom from its back and accidentally drops the pot.
Oh!
He broke it into tiny pieces, and a storm suddenly comes and blows all the wisdom into the sea. And then all of the knowledge is found all over the world, and why no one person has all the answers. Some stories say that he was happy it broke, and some say that his greed got the better of him, and he spends the rest of his life in search of all that wisdom.
Got to get that wisdom. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it fell into the sea, and then it just all dispersed all over the world.
Dispersed everywhere, and that's why everybody's got a little bit of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And everything else. So that's why we have to communicate like merchants.
Yeah. Trade. That's why Jeopardy's a game. Because everybody has a little bit of wisdom.
Woo.
Woo!
And that's it. That's not short. That's all my stories.
Oh, damn. That's all the stories there.
Sorry, I only did two.
I know. This is a super short one here for you folks. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. No, I dig Anansi. I dig the West African deities. I feel
More
like
to come.
Are pretty cool.
More
I think there's
to
a lot of Anansi stories even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he gets into some wild shit.
He gets into a lot of shit.
He
doesn't like the sky god, the heavens god.
No. Was that the one that I named?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's not now.
Well, folks, I hope you have enjoyed this little Saturday short for you. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Follow us, all that good stuff. Share this with your friends.
Yeah.
That's our main way of advertising is word of mouth. So if you like it, tell someone you know. And yeah. Hopefully they like it.
Indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, we had Still Jeff with us on the beats. A little bit of African tunage in the background, digging it. And yeah, as always, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. Wait.
Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho.
I was about to get in trouble, bitch.
I know. So, yeah. Before I forget, like I already did, our resources for tonight's episode were YouTube, Home Team History. The guy only does stories, mythologies, and the history of Africa. Oh, yeah, that's the one we watched, right? That's he's it's awesome. Super cool. He's specifically African mythologies, and they're pretty interesting
to watch.
And all,
the history of them and what was happening when these people were happening here.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And then we have Yanenga Progress.se. That's YENNENGA Progress.se. And that gives you the story of Princess Yennenga. Face to Face Art Africa is a nice article about Princess Yennenga that we use some information from. That's at S Heroes of History, WordPress.com, and AfricanExplorerMagazine.com.
You can find all of those about like the real Princess Yanenga.
Yanenga.
But the other one had his own too.
Yeah. And yeah, look for more Anansi stories coming in the future, because I'm sure we're going to do a bunch of those. Oh, okay, we got more sources. Culturesofwestafrica.com and allfolktales.com.
And those you can find the Anansi stories.
Those are where you get the Anansi stories, as well as the Pennsylvania State University article titled Anansi and the Dispersal of Wisdom / A Brave New World.
That one was fun to read.
Yeah. There, I do like the Anansi story. It's got some cool shit. But yeah, hope you folks enjoy this. Let us know in the comments and drop any suggestions that you might have.
Still like and subscribe. Have a good night.
Have a good night.